a question that really shouldn't be a question because the answer to this question is pretty straightforward and pretty obvious. Should the Miami Dolphins start Tua Tagovailoa? And the answer to that is emphatic no with 100 million exclamation marks. Because here's why, right? Tua Tagovailoa is in a situation with the Miami Dolphins that the Miami Dolphins don't have to force him to be the starting quarterback right away this season. You got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who is a fringe or bridge quarterback. And what a fringe/bridge quarterback is basically a quarterback who isn't a long-term option, but he's okay for the moment, right? He can get the job done. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick can do, right? Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick isn't great or anything like that, but he's good for what the situation the Miami Dolphins are currently in, right? Because, look, Ryan Fitzpatrick was pretty solid last year, considering the fact that the Miami Dolphins didn't really have all that great of an offensive line blocking for him. It didn't really have all that much talent, right? So, Ryan Fitzpatrick, if he fizzles out or he gets injured or something like that, then you go ahead and you put in Josh Rosen, right? But there's absolutely no reason at all why Tua should have to touch the field this season, right? Because you put Tua in, right? You risk him getting injured, right? Because, look, I don't see what's wrong with letting Tua sit a whole entire year, learn the playbook, and completely heal from his injuries. Just completely heal, alright? Let him come back 125% healthy. Because why throw him into the starting lineup right away, and then you risk him getting an injury, right? Then he gets injured, and it only takes one injury for you to become an injury-prone player, right? If Tua Tagovailoa gets injured, I think he could end up being the next Chad Pennington if the Miami Dolphins don't play this situation the right way. He can end up becoming the next Chad Pennington. Now, for those of you guys who don't know who Chad Pennington is, Chad Pennington played in the NFL for 11 years. He played for the New York Jets and he played for the Miami Dolphins. Now, out of the 11 years that Chad Pennington played in the NFL, he's only played a whole entire NFL season 2 times out of those 11 years, right? He was basically an injury. He was a really good quarterback, but he could never stay healthy. He won Comeback Player of the Year twice. In 2006, he won NFL Comeback Player of the Year with the New York Jets. Then the following season, in 2007, he got injured. Then he goes to the Miami Dolphins in 2008, the season after, and he wins Comeback Player of the Year again. So when Chad Pennington played, he was really good. He also took the Jets and the Dolphins to the playoffs when he was healthy, right? But the reason why Chad Pennington really wasn't as good as what he should be was because he was never able to stay healthy. And that's what the Miami Dolphins could end up risking Tua to if they don't play the situation the proper way. Listen, Miami should not be in a rush to try to throw Tua into the starting lineup. Now, I know a lot of fans are going to be like, oh, we drafted him high in the draft. We has a top 5 pick on this guy. We need to be able to throw him in and see what he's got. Yeah, you can do that next year, but you don't need to be throwing him into a meaningless week 15 or week 16 or week 17 game because you want to see what you got. Well, I don't understand the point of starting a quarterback like a Tua Tagovailoa the last few weeks of the NFL season. Like, in meaningless games when you have an injury-prone quarterback. Now, if Tua wasn't injury-prone or anything like that, then yeah, I say, yeah, throw him in there, right? But when you got a quarterback who needs to heal up from his injuries, there's really no point or no reason why he should play this year. So, I mean, look, the Miami Dolphins, I understand. Everybody wants to see how good Tua is. Everybody wants to, put Tua in there to see what he's got and everything like that. But why not give this guy a complete 1 year to completely heal up from his injuries? Like, I find it absolutely astonishing that people are even making this like a bigger question than what it has to be. Like, the answer should be a flat out no. It's really no reason why Tua should start this year unless the coaching staff and they talk to a lot of medical professionals and doctors and things like that, and they say that Tua Tagovailoa is 110% ready to go. But I mean, even then, the Miami Dolphins need to proceed with caution with Tua Tagovailoa. Because look, Tua Tagovailoa, you throw him in there, right? He could be really good, but if you throw him in there too soon and he gets injured, you're screwed. Because then it only takes one injury to pile on top of another injury, which piles on top of another injury. Then you have Chad Pennington 2.0. And the Miami Dolphins don't need that. What the Miami Dolphins need to do is they need to sit Tua Tagovailoa for a complete season. Let him heal up. Let him learn the playbook and things like that. Let him learn from Ryan Fitzpatrick, who isn't that bad of a guy to learn from, because Ryan Fitzpatrick is a guy who, although he hasn't had like playoff success or anything like that, he's a guy who has had success in the NFL. Now, it may not be what you consider success, but in my opinion, I think Ryan Fitzpatrick has had a pretty solid and successful NFL career. I mean, he's played for almost every team in the NFL. So, I mean, look, he's good enough to be a starter on almost every NFL team in existence. So, I mean, I think he will be a good mentor for Tua to learn from, right? He's also a really good personality as well. So, I mean, for the Miami Dolphins, don't start Tua. It's no reason why you need to start Tua. Absolutely no reason, right? So Ryan Fitzpatrick gets injured, then you got Josh Rosen. That's why I believe the Miami Dolphins don't completely want to trade Josh Rosen yet, because they want to have a backup plan just in case Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't play that good or he gets injured or anything like that, so they don't have to play Tua Tagovailoa. Because look, if Tua didn't have the injury concerns, then yeah, you throw him in there. But there's no reason throwing Tua into the wolves right away. No reason at all. We've seen plenty of quarterbacks have a lot of success that didn't start week one. That didn't start right away. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Look what the Kansas City Chiefs did with him. They didn't start him right away. Look how good he is now. Now, I'm not saying Tua is going to be Patrick Mahomes, but I'm just saying just because you have a rookie quarterback, that doesn't mean you have to throw him into the fire to see what he's got right away. Especially risking injury. And I don't really understand why people are so impatient. Why Tua has to start right away. I understand why, but I don't really think the potential reward is greater than the risk. The Miami Dolphins, no offense, are not playoff contenders. They don't have a roster that should be competing for the playoffs, right? Especially with Ryan Fitzpatrick at the helm at quarterback, and the offensive line still needs some work. The Miami Dolphins still have a lot of ways to go until they become a playoff team, right? So why throw Tua Tagovailoa in that kind of situation? Why not let Ryan Fitzpatrick be the test dummy? Why not let him continue to get beat up back there and things like that, instead of putting your franchise quarterback back there and letting him get beat up? And then you risk him getting injured. So, I mean, it really makes no sense how the media's making a big deal about the quarterback battle and things like that. Listen, we know how good Tua is. We know that Tua is probably the better quarterback than Ryan Fitzpatrick. But really, it's no reason why Tua should be stepping on the field this year when you look back at all the injuries that he suffered at Alabama. He had several injuries. Several. So, it's really no reason why Tua should be starting this year. Now, I know Miami Dolphins fans are going to come to argument like, oh, man, he needs to be back there anyway. No, he really doesn't. Because if he gets injured, then you basically wasted a top 5 pick on him for nothing. Tua is an extremely talented player, but that doesn't help you if he's not able to play, right? So, I mean, the Miami Dolphins need to proceed with caution with this quarterback situation. It's no reason why Tua should be thrown into the lineup. If we're being honest, if Miami really wants to compete and really wants to try to make it to the playoffs, I don't really think they need Tua to be the starting quarterback to do that. I believe that Ryan Fitzpatrick is more than capable of accomplishing the goals that the Miami Dolphins have set this season. Rather if it's playoffs or winning a certain amount of games, I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is a good enough quarterback that he can accomplish the goals that the Miami Dolphins coaching staff and this front office has set in place for this team going forward into the 2020 NFL season. Because like I said, there's no reason at all that Tua Tagovailoa should even touch the field. And I don't care if the Miami Dolphins are in a Week 17 game and they just want to, and they're not making it into the playoffs at all, and they just want to see what he's got. It's useless, because listen, it's like one game. Why risk putting your franchise quarterback in that game that absolutely means nothing? You see what he has. You see how good he is in the end-game situation next year. But for right now, Tua doesn't need to be playing in the preseason. He doesn't need to be playing in the regular season. He needs the complete season in 2020 to heal up, learn the playbook, learn the offense, learn his teammates, get comfortable with the NFL, things like that. Then in 2021, then we should be able to see Tua Tagovailoa. But for right now, with Ryan Fitzpatrick there, Ryan Fitzpatrick should be good enough to accomplish what the Miami Dolphins want to accomplish moving forward in 2021. And if something happens with Ryan Fitzpatrick, Then you got Josh Rosen. No reason to throw Tua Tagovailoa into the Wolves this early, especially considering with all the injuries that he suffered during his time at Alabama, because you risk him becoming the next Chad Pennington. So that's my answer to the question. Should the Miami Dolphins start Tua Tagovailoa this season? Let me know what you guys think about this situation. Would you not, or would you start Tua Tagovailoa? Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.